Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for today's edition of the HR Talent Pitch. This is the second edition, and with this program, we hope to put out competent, qualified HR talents to the public so that you can listen to them, hear them pitch their candidacy, showcase their capabilities and competence, and you can, of course, reach out to them if you need their services. You can also reach out to me for any additional information. Without further ado, we'll be going straight to the first presenter. But before I do that, I'm happy to have as panelists, evaluators, and also mentors and coaches on this program, Ezine Obiora, who will also be moderating this session most likely going forward. We also have Victor Agu, and we also have the privilege of having Rita Babalola. We also have quite a number of people back end supporting this program. People like Irene Obuagu, I celebrate you, and other colleagues providing support on this specific program. In just 30 seconds, the concept here is that every contestant or participant has 5 minutes to pitch their candidacy, and then the evaluators, the panelists, will provide in 2 to 3 minutes some helpful feedback to help them enrich their presentation and make them even more ready with respect to interviews. Again, this program has 2 dimensions. One, we are making candidates available to the public so that they can reach out to them for their services. It's also a learning platform so that all of us can see how we can improve our capacity, competence to speak and present to other people who may need our service. Once again, my name is Oluyemi Adeosun, and at this intersection, I'd like to hand over to the first contestant, Kikelomo Bamidele. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Bamidele Kikelomo. I hold a Special Executive Master Program in Strategic Business. I am HR Business Partner Certified. I hold degrees in Sociology and Secretarial Studies. I started my career in Cummins West Africa Limited in 2008 as a PA to the GM Finance and also as the HR Associate. Thereafter, I moved to become the Executive Assistant to the GM Aftermarket, supporting 4 regions and over 100 employees. And in 2019, I moved to become the Manning and Contract Administrator, also doubling as a Key Account Manager. We are interface with customers, vendors, and internal business leaders. And then in 2022, I volunteered and to also do my internship with Comworks Limited as HR administrator. And then my competencies and skills, I have skills in HR operations and executive support. Like I said earlier, I supported 4 regional managers and over 100 employees in handling recruitment, trainings, leave management, travel logistics, overtime tracking, and other administrative jobs. I also have skills in contract management. Presently, I manage the OST. OST is on-site technicians, where we provide technicians to manage customer power generations. Our technicians are on site 24/7. When I took over, we just had 1 customer to manage, and presently we have improved. We have grown to have 7 customers, and we have also increased profits through vendor partnership. When I took over, just the one manning site, we had about 5 technicians, 5 trained technicians, full employed technicians managing that site. But we had to bring in vendor to partnership, so thereby increasing profits and reducing costs. So now we just have our trained technicians as supervisors while the vendor supply the rest of the manpower. And we are also able to reduce engine downtime by 10%. So I also have skills in vendor management, where we help the vendor to recruit, train, train the technician and also prepare them for audit because we have audit twice a year. So we also prepare them for audit. Then I also drafted the SLA we use now and the manning template we use currently. I also have skills in key account management, where we also double as a customer care. We are in charge. I am in charge of sales, invoicing, and receivables of the 7 OSA customers. And when I took over, we have AR going to about 7 years, 5 years. But presently now, our AR, 70% of them have been recovered, and we have to write off about 10% because of documentation issues. And all our AR now are jobs waiting for maturity. So we have a clean slate now. And presently, I lead the Women Empowerment Network Retain Pillar Initiative. When I say retain pillar, we focus on maternal employees, and we also focus on female technicians. We also focus on female technicians. So we support employees who are returning from maternity, and then we give visibility to female technicians. And in 2026, we are proposing a mentorship and cross-border learning program
I have
that will
one
be
more
launched
minute.
in
I have
2026.
one more minute.
Okay, so presently, then in 2026, I led the corporate responsibility project where we won award. And why hire me? I have a unique blend of HR, project coordination, and customer relations skills. I have cross functions. I have worked cross functions in finance, supply chain, workshop, and the health and safety unit. Presently, I am multi-tasked, multi-skilled. I can support and so sometimes this year we had issues with recruitment of a skilled forklift driver. So I was able to support to get one, thereby saving my company a huge cost of demurrage that would have been paid. Then I also support the HR mentorship group to get resource people for our webinars. So I come with strong communication and reporting skills. I have built relationship with colleagues, with vendors, with customers. I have digital skills that can help.
Okay.
And
Down.
here is my contact for your reference purpose. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kike. Thank you very much. Okay, who would hear from the panel? Madam Izini, Madam Rita.
Who goes first?
Or maybe okay. let me just go first. Again, Kike, well done. Thank you very much for turning up and showing up on all that you've done. I particularly, when I saw 2008 till date, I'm like, wow, in 2026, that is some big wow. Like having stayed and you've done a lot of things. Even though I had a bit of struggle with putting the things together and just having, so you don't look all over the place. I was a little bit lost, right? And I just think that there should be a conversation around what next, right? What are my interests? What next am I looking at? What are the things that I want to do now? Those things seem to be lacking from your conversation. But overall, it was a lot of things that you've done. I just didn't get a bit of what next. But well done, well done. This is very much put together. Thank you. Okay, yeah, Izini.
Okay, thank you, Kikelomo, for being the first. You know, we always say, I think in pitch 1.0, we commended the person that took the reins by the horn. And I noticed that that's what you were doing. You know, at some point you were really eager to come on board. So first of all, well done on that. You are quite articulate. Well done with that. However, it did feel like at a point You know, you were not, I don't know, you were not even, you know, your voice now faltered. It was like you were not, you know, pitching as sharply as you were at the beginning. I feel like, and I think that maybe because this is 2.0, then we might be a tad bit harder on 2.0. 1.0, you know, everybody has started off at the beginning. Maybe people didn't have an idea, but people have had chances to watch the past one and have been given tips. So we might be a tad bit harder. I feel like there wasn't a lot of practice done for this pitch. Remember, we talked about the pitch, boom, you have a few minutes and you need to sell yourself. I'm not really sure that you sold yourself as much as I would have wanted you to because of the experience you had. It was towards the end that I started hearing things that you have, and I'm like, oh my God, if you had started that, you know, I would like to suggest that, you know, when you bring your pitch, you bring up your deck. You don't necessarily have to read through the deck, just pick on the major points and then put yourself out there. On your first page, I saw that your experience should be chronological. I saw that, you know, it was starting from the oldest to the newest. It should start from the most recent. I would have wanted you to, you know, concentrate on the HR core skills, because the question is, you're pitching yourself. What are you pitching yourself for? I was a bit confused. Yeah. So, you know, you're pitching yourself as a HR, you know, coming in, you know, HR professional. Tell us how your acquired skills, the skills you have, they're transferable to, you know, being that full HR professional. You did start somewhat at the end, but then everything was jumbled because you have experience in customer care, you know, L&D, you know, which translates to, of course, L&D training, then customer care, employee relations, but I didn't see you sell that. So I would have wanted to see more or hear more of how your HR skills were strengthened, you know. But yeah, I guess it's a chance for you to take feedback and do better. Thank you. Well done.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Kike. Thank you, Victor, and thank you, Izini. You've hit the nail on the head. And you always say this, that the first person is always like the scapegoat. And unfortunately, you became the sacrificial lamb that will make everything seems right for today's tune. Okay, so I must encourage you really. For me, for aesthetic, I will probably rate you 2/5 because I was thinking just like what Izini said. What was presented last week, we had beautiful presentation. I thought people would take you from that and present something better, which you did not do. In terms of your engagement, I feel that you had a lot of time to be able to not sell yourself enough, because aside having too many skills, what is it that you're coming for? What is it that we can remember you by? What is it that you want us to see about you? You know, communicating and putting your message out there so that it is concise, it is very clear, and it is actually correct, so that people can also reach out to you if they want. Your voice tone, I'll give you 4/5. Like Izene said, you projected yourself very well, excellently well. Your voice tone, the depth was so sharp, people can hear you, even if we're to stand across the end of the room. You did very well there. But then in terms of context, you didn't know what is it you want to market yourself for. Are you conversing to or transitioning to HR? Do you want to take HR? Do you want us to take you as an HR professional? You did learning and development. We saw customer service. We saw vendor management. That's a lot of skills. And having that in 17 years is a lot of punch power. That what are you pitching for? What do you want people to know you by? I think you were not able to flow through that. So I'll give you 3/5 for narrative flow. You did not at all flow and sell yourself. Thank you. Over to you, Victor.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Babalola. Thank you. On that note, we will move on to Adekunle.
Over to you, Victor.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the second person, Adekunle. I don't know if you are ready to go, Adekunle. Okay.
Yes, I am. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Okay. I'm ready to go whenever.
Okay, your time starts now. Yeah, you have 5 minutes on this. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abdulkarim Mailara, and I currently work as the People and Culture Manager. My first degree is in Industrial Relations and Personnel Management, and as an associate member of CIPM, I've built my experience across building system, people system, basically to drive performance, compliance, and I've also aided business scaling. My major skills, focus on performance management, like I earlier said, learning and development, policy design, and capacity building. Um, Going through to my experience quickly, I started as an HR intern with Legal Corporation and I built my competencies across consulting, hospitality, telecoms, and now in the financial sector, where I currently manage business partnering, L&D initiatives, performance management systems, culture preservation and advancement, and also employee engagement and ensuring HR compliance. Um, in my consulting, um, in my consulting experience, I have led hundreds of recruitments, both for in-house and managing outsourced employees as well. I have also led for some organization some ODs, development and organizational development, as well as the departmental reorganization. Uh, my core competencies, basically, I major in strategy development and implementation, performance management, which is a core function of my current employment, compensation and benefit management, which I handled in my previous employment, L&D, which also happens to be my core responsibility in my current employment as well, governance and compliance management, workforce planning, HR analytics, as well as system administration, and I am proficient in multiple HRIS. Most of the good people on my seamless HR. Problem I can solve, which I have solved, includes weak performance management system, which I have improved and implemented better system. Cultural misalignment, um, linking initiatives with business objectives, limited people analytics to improve on decision making in the workplace. I've also resolved high attrition and workforce engagement, and also I have managed excellently legal and compliance risk everywhere I have worked. Why I should be hired? I know my onions, number one, and I have proven myself to be a great business partner and also people-oriented HR practitioner everywhere I've gone to. I am also a result-focused professional, and my successes in various capacities over the course of my career can attest to this. My operational expertise also across offices of HR um, aids my employability. And I also tend to blend strategy with realistic objectives aimed at achieving impactful outcomes for businesses. I also don't believe in buzzwords in HR, which I have built myself to be much more traditional in approach and more strategic in implementation. And lastly, I am highly passionate about building a fulfilling employee experience for people, as this is the core expectation of every initiative that I've built. Uh, yes, I believe this is why you should hire me. And also, lastly, if I still have enough of time, one thing about me, which is my personality, is the fact that everyone that I've worked with and everyone that I've had experiences with me can attest to the fact that I am a great player, team player. I I lead and I follow. And I believe these are the reasons why, if this is a hiring pitch, I should be hired. My contact address um, is here, my email address, my LinkedIn profile, my WhatsApp, and mobile contact. And yes, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much, Adekunle. That was insightful. I will just give my comments as well. Well done for showing up, and you were able to stay under 5 minutes, even with your extra time. That was good. I think you managed time and you were able to touch all that you wanted to touch and land us on the contact page. my observation would just be that there was a lot of mention of strategy and those kind of words, strategic implementation, operational management, this and all, and it was just a lot of is this person looking at a document and then is he having to say all of these things? So we need something that sells you out very uniquely. It is the people that know you that can attest to you that you have done this, you have done that, and all. Right. So there is still that something that is striking, that should be striking, that is missing from the text. It just looks very, very pre-planned and like you had to just present it. Yeah. So that's unifying, unique factor. We need to put that in this deck. Yeah. Thank you. I'll just
very
let
much.
the others build on that. Okay, isn't it?
Okay,
Okay.
for me, thank you. Oh, okay, Zane, over to you then.
Okay, sorry. Okay. First of all, Adekunle, thank you. I also at the back end saw how you were, trying and making sure to put up your presentation despite everything you came through. First of all, I say thank you. I'm big on how you present yourself, branding, formatting. You did this well. I mean, it was easy for me to go through your deck, nicely put together, nicely arranged, shows that, it gives me an insight for me to you that how, together you are, well put together you are. Now, for your content, it just felt to me like you were just saying things, right? You were reading off, it was a verbose deck. But then I didn't see who Adekunle is. I didn't see, you can tell me all that, yeah, but how do I know? There were no scenarios to show us your level of impact. You just said you can, yeah, I mean, but show us, let us know how, tell us how. I saw how you listed so many problems that you can solve. It would have been good. I would have suggested that you focus on maybe like a few of them, 2 or 3, and then give us particular context scenarios that where you did this and this was what you achieved. It felt like you were just reading out, a list of things that you can do, but we don't know that you can do them. So you didn't really convince me, I needed you to convince me better. It felt generic. Yeah, so please work on that, show us, convince us that this is the thing that you can do, this is your ability. But, other than that, well done. Well done.
Thank you for the observation.
Okay, thank you. So can I just put it out there? Is it that some words disappear because of internet issue? Because honestly, sometimes I'm lost. I can't hear some words like Ezene and Victor, even some of the job seekers here. Is it that it's my network or just that I'm not hearing enough? Or
I think it's a network thing. I noticed it's a network
issue.
thing.
Can you please confirm? Victor, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am. I think
Okay.
it's next.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, thank you, Adekunle Ayilara. You did very well in terms of what we were expecting you to come up with. But just like what the 2 other interview, there's something that they call word salad. That means that you have too many goings on, too many grammatical use words, but then in context, in getting them to connect and follow a direction that we can point you to or say, this is what you are. I think I would say it's a no for me. And with years of experience, I would love the fact that you started very well in terms of your content clarity. The arrangement of slide was okay. We could read through just like what Ezene said. At least I knew what was coming up, what was expected. But at this level of experience, it would be nice to see that you are also letting us know what you can actually do, the storytelling, the connection to the audience, so that we can see your value. So I expected you to have like a visual representation of your performance. With your years of experience, performance is key. It's no longer presentism in the office, it is performance, and this should show forth in your slide presentation. Like he had what she said, Ezene said something about because of your years of experience, they're kind of, that if you just focus on 3 or 4 skills, and then because you're coming here to come and sell yourself, you're coming here to come and pitch yourself to people, what would they remember you by? What is the story about Adekunle Ayilara? I should go home today, still remembering you that, no, this guy said performance manager because you kept on emphasizing that word. But for you at this level, virtual representation of what you can do, performance, show a connection story to it. And then I also need you to work on your voice projection. Maybe you should do it periodically, stand in front of the mirror, start engagement with the audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Adekunle, once again. Is the third person ready? Wozo Ndudu. Okay.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Good afternoon, good evening rather. Good evening to all the panelists and everyone on the call. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Ndodo Wazo, and I have a bachelor's in history and diplomacy from University of Port Harcourt, and I'm currently pursuing my postgraduate program in industrial and labor relations at the University of Lagos. I completed my CIPM examination in December, so I'm currently awaiting induction in May. Well, I ventured into HR because of my passion for people. See that people actually grow and then develop, and also my passion to see that structures are being followed, and then there's like an organized environment, basically. Over 2 years, I've had experience in HR when it comes to recruitment, the employee life cycle, exits, and then entry, employee engagement. I've also supported performance management and also supported the process of training development. I've also had hands-on experience when it comes to the HR tools, Zoho People and Notch HR. These are used for efficiency of the workplace. On my current role with Math ETC Learning Center, I work as the HR officer, and some of the key achievements for me on the role is when I started the role, we didn't have an updated employee record. So most of the staff did not have anything on file. So I had to go back to every staff and then ask them to send an updated record. And after receiving that, I had to create a filing system for every employee. And also because we are regulated by the state, when I started as well, most of our staff did not have an updated qualification by the regulatory body. So I had to go back to the regulatory body with the documentations again, and then followed up with that. And as of today, we've been able to stay compliant, and then we've had an up-to-date qualification for all of our staff. And because our environment, depends on a lot of scheduling, I've had to create the schedules to ensure workflow. And one challenge that I had with this was we've had challenge when it comes to the older generation not being able to adapt to the technological system that we use. So to bridge this gap, what I've done is to communicate with them outside the technology, just so that they are clear as to what their schedule is, and so that we don't have any gaps when it comes to our workflow. I've also worked with Eneka Limited as HR and admin. When I started the role, we didn't have any HR department. There was no admin department. So I started the department from the ground up. So when I started, I had to request for files again. I had to create the documentation, the filing system for the organization. I also had to create the policies, the employee handbook, just so that we have like a very well-structured organization. And we didn't have KPIs as well. So I had to develop that. And with creating all of that, especially the KPI, people started to know what their deliverables are tied to, what their sockets are tied to. And with that clarity, we started to have people imputing and then doing better on their role. And I also contributed to the revenue growth by over 30%. You might be wondering how I got this 30%. Well, it started to my KPI. It was stated that I grew the revenue to over 30%. Well, this I did. I had to manage a new project. And one thing for every organization is sustaining whatever new business that they have. So with that in mind, I had to create strategies as to how I'm going to sustain it, and as well as how to scale it up as well. And I did this in phases, and I started implementing them. So with that, it was able to influence the revenue by over 30%, as stated. So also when I started the role, there was an issue with employees working in silo. There was a bit of
About 1 minute,
disengagement.
1 minute more.
Okay, so I had to create engagement initiatives, team bonding systems, and then reward system just to ensure that we have a well-structured, a productive environment. I believe you should hire me because I'm an emerging strategic leader. If you're looking for somebody who is going to take initiatives and own processes, I am that person. I believe that I am an asset because I'm going to contribute massively to the growth of your business. Aside the core HR skills that I have, I'm also a go-to person when it comes to having a good or well operationalized organization as well. I'm actually open to other opportunities at the moment. I'm open to exploring other opportunities, and I would love to connect. If you would want to reach me, my email, phone number, and LinkedIn address is actually displayed on the screen. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm actually excited to be here. Thank you again.
Well done, well done, well done. If not that we had a timer, would love to listen to you some more. It was good. It was really, really, really good. Isn't it supposed to talk about aesthetics? But I have to say these slides are good, really, really good. You took us on a journey and you landed us safely. I think we had to say 1 minute more so that you just packed things up, but you were right on time. I liked the fact that you stayed on your achievements, what you've done, the impact on the business. When you talked about 30%, that's usually something we react to say, how did you know it was 30%? But you even answered that question to let us know how you knew it was 30%. So it was brilliant and a really good one. I'm struggling to find where the loopholes are, but I'm sure others will speak to that. However, mine would just be keep showing up, do this kind of pitches some more, and just keep showing up, interview some more. You have the wall that you fit. Well done again. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Good. Madam Rita, yeah. Oh, okay. Any of our judges can also give us.
Okay, Ezene, I thought you were coming up, so I'll give my comments. And Wazo Undodo, this is me saying a round
Thank you.
of applause. You deserve the accolades that you've had so far. Yes, honestly. I rated you 4/5 in aesthetic and arrangement. You knew what you wanted and you went straight to it. In terms of the arrangement, honestly, this is very good. I rated you 4/5 for slide arrangement and tune because the energy that you started with did not dim, did not go down at all. The positivity was right from the beginning of the presentation. So in terms of communication, I rated you another 4/5. So that's fantastic for someone with less than 3 years work experience. This was beautiful. For content and problem solving, you made us know right from the onset that you are a problem solver. You are someone should have on the team. You brought your positivity onto bear in this presentation, and I rated you another 4/5 for that. Then on the last note, in terms of engagement, ODS connection, I would say 4/5 as well, because you didn't leave us from not realizing the fact that you are the emerging. When you use the word emerging, because I wanted to say that, how can you have done this? But you made us see that is a journey. You're taking us through a journey in transition. And the use of the emerging strategic leader, I had to write it down. That shows that your self-initiative, your leadership skill, organization skills is top-notch. So I celebrate you. I have written down your number. I'm going to call you at the end of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So over to Victor and Ezene now.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Victor. I mean, hey, you hit the nail on the head. Wazo, anybody has been listening. I think Victor made reference to it. I'm big on branding. I mean, I just need to see your slides already give me an insight as to who you are or what you do before you start to speak. I said it in the last session. So I love the way you put your slides together. I remember even seeing it ahead of time. And I was like, wow, who is this person? Then I love your storytelling. Yeah, you were not reading off the slides. You took us into your world. You gave us a glimpse of, you know, the fact that you have made impact, what you have achieved, right? It was, and then I loved that part. In fact, when you explained your metrics, I was nodding my head. I was like, yes, like Victor said, you didn't wait for us to ask you. You told us, you know, the reason behind the metrics. And I remember I made that comment in 1.0. Don't just put numbers on your deck that you cannot explain. You explained it, so I'm convinced. You don't need to convince me any further. I'm convinced. However, I did see that you got carried away with your achievements, and that's what, you know, you were not able to put everything into the time. So you might need to, like, you know, firm that up, right? Remember the elevator pitch. You have a chance, you have a 1 minute in the elevator, you're with Dangote or you're with Bill Gates in the elevator or whoever it is, and you need to put yourself across. Focus on those major achievements that, you know, are favorite to you or stand you out. Those are the ones you go through, boom, boom, boom. And then you put yourself, because you already have enough, more than enough. Just pick those major highlights and then, you know, just keep yourself in time. So of course, as you practice more, you will tighten things up. Yeah, I hear the part I saw the part about you being an emerging strategic leader. I love that. I know that you're young, still young in the industry, but, you know, there's a comment I made at the top, and it's going to apply to everybody. We need to understand why you're pitching. I mean, when you're pitching and you're saying this, yes, I can, with my intuition, say, okay, I can fit you in there, but it will also be nice for you to have an idea of the spaces you want to be in. And that's the question I ask people when people come to me and say, Z, I'd like to work, I'm looking for a job. I'm like, okay, so what do you want to do? You need to know where you want to be, what positions you think that you will be best fitted into. You might not have the answer now, you might not have it clear now, but I'm just saying that will help tighten your pitch. So if someone say, okay, fine, I hear you and everything, you're a great problem solver, so but where do you want me to place you? It'll be nice for you to also have a head start and say, I would like to, you know, these are my inclinations and all that. So, but well done. So far, you knock it out of the park, you know, well done. And I just look forward to seeing you do better and better and better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Wazo. Thank you for that. Okay, Gloria Nemeka, are you set? Gloria. Is Gloria on board? If Gloria is not set, we can have Babatobi Emmanuel.
All right, good evening. Let me share my screen in a minute, please.
I'm ready. Okay, but I'll just allow the next I was having some glitches earlier, but I'll just allow the next candidate to continue.
Okay. Let's quickly do that. Maybe I'll find you can come on. Babatobi.
Okay.
Let's have.
All right, I'm trying to share my screen in a minute, please. My name is Omole. I'll be speaking on this evening on some of the things that have actually came up on this pitch that I hear. I have more than 5 years of experience in human resource, and I work with different organizations, and my specialty ranges from talent acquisitions, which is recruitment and selection, learning and development, performance management, and industrial relations. I have a master's degree in industrial relations and personnel management from University of Lagos, and I have a BSc in public administration from Ondo State University. And so far, so good. I'm currently working with a TCP as a team lead for talent acquisition and development specialist. Over the years I've been working as an HR professional, I've recruited more than 1,005 candidates for different organizations I've worked with. I started my career with Prix Network PLC as junior HR business partner, where I was assisting the HR business partner manager in terms of recruitment, in terms of learning and development, by helping to analyze training needs analysis, also helping in terms of interviewing candidate, then doing the analysis and other things like that. Then from there, I moved to Beacon Gate. Beacon Gate happened to be a consulting firm where I worked as an HR associate. Then I was in charge of recruitment, where I actually recruited for different roles while I was working with a Beacon Gate. And the things that people love about me is this: when it comes to recruitment, there is no role that I cannot recruit for, be it from entry level to the directorate level. Yeah, I can remember when I was working with Beacon Gate, there are different clients, when they asked us for, they needed this number of roles for this particular person, with my connections, because I have different connections with people, and based on my expertise when it comes to recruitment. I don't struggle for any role. And when it comes to learning and development as well, I've actually conducted more than 400 training with organizations I've worked with. Then after I worked with Beacon Gate, I moved to KC Gaming Network. KC Gaming happened to be an gaming industry where I serve as an HR officer. I covered more than 10 locations in Southwest State, and whereby I was the one I manage our end-to-end recruitment, learning and development, performance management, employee relations. And like remember when I was working with Beacon Gate, I recruited more than 20 roles for while I was with them. When it comes to training as well, I was in charge of training in analysis for the regions that I cover, and also develop a training calendar for the organization. And before I left, then we're using a paper appraiser. I actually had the idea I discussed with my line manager. Instead of using this paper appraiser, there's a need for us to actually use appraiser, and as a result of that, I met with the IT team, be able to come up with something. Then later we approached our Sage, and Sage actually provided us assistance. But we have to pay for the module for performance management. That was one of the achievements while I was working with them. And not only that, then moving on there, I moved to Fixing PLC as HR business partner, where I was in charge of recruitment, learning and development, performance management. Where I was fixing, I recruited more than 200 roles, ranges from entry level to general manager level while I was working with them. And not only that, while I was with them, I also introduced what we call SS Cloud for our performance appraiser, because the one we were using before is Microsoft Dynamics. I also liaise with the IT team. Instead for paying more for the for the client, we have to our inner IT work with other IT outside to develop for what actually suit what we wanted as an organization. And where I'm currently working on, like I said earlier, I serve as a team lead, talent acquisition and development. I was in charge of, I'm currently in charge of recruitment and selection, talent management, industrial relations, and the likes. My expertise are cut across talent management, learning and development, industrial relations. I'm very skilled in managing stakeholder management between the union, and also I've conducted different trainings from different levels across the organization that I've worked with. And not only that, I also develop review performance or career evaluation for the organization I've worked with in terms of setting goals and setting objectives. We have recently where I'm currently working, I noticed that people that have worked for like 10 years or 15 years, they don't have updated or
you need to round up now, please. Go to your last slide. You need to round up.
All right.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, all right. Why people should hire me? All my value proposition is this: well proven ability to align HR institution with business outcomes, very strong record in recruitment efficiency, employee development, and performance management. Let me just say that before I round the whole session up now, I'm very good when it comes to recruitment, because there is no role I cannot recruit depending on the time to hire. And when it also comes to learning and development, I'm very good, in developing training courses and training courses. And also when it comes to performance or evaluation or performance appraiser, I set goal for the department that I work with, or the different employee from junior staff to senior staff. And not only when it comes to industrial relations, I'm very strong. Currently, I handle both the NOFTE and the FOPTOP junior, which I'm very, when it comes to industrial relations as well, I am very strong. I can rate myself 10 over 10 in terms of our industrial relations, recruitment 10 over 10, learning and development 10 over 10, performance management 8.5 over 10. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Babatobi. No, this is really good. This is really, really good. It seems people are just trying to step up. And I have to say, achievements is plenty. Is plenty. And the other speaker, while she came off as entry level, trying to put her career together, you did justice to having some level of experience, and you know what you are doing. In fact, you didn't leave the first slide until we said go to the last, and you just kept talking. So you are a teacher too. This is really good. And for the fact that you were able to put in, is now you are now showing us all the slides. Don't worry. Okay, but putting everything together, it was awesome, and it's something that we should give a round of applause for. I'm just going to say that you are pitching yourself so much as a very good recruiter, which is awesome. The numbers, when you say 1,500 roles, 400 trainings, and all of that, if you meet very difficult people, they want to verify these things. If they bring you on board on their team, you must not perform less than these things that you've said, because you rated yourself 10 over 10 twice. And you must have heard Madam Rita. I don't think I've ever seen her give more than 4 over 5. Even if you do, I used to say 10 over 10 twice. I'm sure she will come to give a rating. But then I would say that as much as this is a lot more achievement based, let's also see you as somebody who there is a quota for improvements and all that. And except you want to be a recruitment specialist or maybe an L&D person, you might then need to tell us 1 or 2 things more that you can add, because you were talking about being a strategic person, able to align HR initiatives with business outcomes and all. So the business side of things, right? The business, so that you can then grow into very strategic roles. But other than that, very beautiful. I love how you started. I love how you ended. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, any of our judges next? Either Madam Mutal.
Victor, you help us out by calling our names, but no problem, I'll come in. Okay, Babatunde. Am I correct? I'm seeing Babatobi. Sorry, excuse me. All right. Well done with your slides. Well done with talking through. I mean, you talked with a lot of passion. I liked that about you. But this your rating, especially L&D. You rated yourself, and like Victor said, let's be very careful when we rate ourselves. It's fantastic for us to blow our own trumpets, but also let's give room for improvement. Because when you say you rate yourself 10, because when you were saying that you have done 400 trainings, the comment I put there is, but your slides, because your slides were not going along with what you were saying. So I'm like, you're not convincing me from that. Look, you convinced me about the talent acquisition and performance management. You said that with so much passion, and I'm like, if you were pitching to someone who is looking to fill the roles with those expertise, you pretty much have said it. I mean, yes, you will still need to prove yourself, but you pitched yourself really well and really passionately about that. But then when you're pitching yourself, also be careful that whatever you are saying is matching, especially with the L&D now. That one, I couldn't see the match. I mean, unless you have another opportunity to prove yourself, but here on the go, I did not see that proof, right? But yeah, you showed me that you were a talent acquisition performance management guru. Then the union part, that was interesting to me. You kept on highlighting. It would have been nice for you to give us a context, so that we know, okay, how much value you bring in that. It's one thing to say it, but give us context, give us scenarios, to show that you do have that expertise. So yeah, I would have liked that you tightened your examples, because there was the example you were given. I think you went on and on. That's why it dragged, and eventually you ran out of time. But you did well on the overall. Always opportunities to do better. Again, I'm seeing your slides. As much as I know that you want to show us how much you know, but there were certain instructions about how much you can compress everything to a particular number of slides. You had so many slides that were more than what was said. So you have the ability to compress that. But other than that, well done. And to just look forward to you take feedback and better yourself as you go on. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Madam Rita.
Okay, Toby.
Good evening, ma'am.
Oh,
I'm very well, ma'am.
I just kept on hearing Victor. That's wonderful. Honestly, like just what Victor said. I saw the slide. The second page or something was what you opened up that showed your work history. And I said, bam, I love this. We had praised Ndodo. But I think your slide for me, it's you gave us that clarity around your presentation with each of the headers quietly pointed out, very visible. So I will score you 5 over 5. But just like what Ezine said, some of it could be compressed because what was your horn doing? Because you were talking, but your slides weren't moving forward. It wasn't progressing. You were just talking. So there's something about presentation. When you're talking, let your slide also be moving. We know what we want to see as your slide movement. So that wasn't done, yeah. But then I love that the fact that in terms of aesthetic, in terms of arrangement, this is one of the best that I've seen so far in the 2 episodes. Then in terms of who you are, the problem solving, yeah, talent selection, even when you will talk about training, you take us back to recruitment, talent selection. So the story flowing, the natural context in terms of flowing of information was absent. Because for every, you were bringing us forward, you were bringing us backwards, projected out there. It is not in dispute. So anyone that would be interested in you, the one thing that you have shown to yourself is you have given yourself a title. You have given yourself, oh, what is the need for you? Honestly, you sold yourself across as a recruiter, a talent source, as someone that is very, very good on his job. But then bringing back to you rating yourself 10/10, but a leader's blind spot where you think you know it all, and then there's some space that you have to give some elements of growth. You didn't let us have that, but rating yourself, your confidence to, yeah, you projected your well. And I see that in terms of your voice projection, it was a bit edgy for me. Public speaking, you need it. You need to be able to project yourself, and this was what affected your presentation overall. So you need to learn to pitch, and isn't it always iterate this, that people should learn to pitch to themselves, pitch in front of the mirror yourself, let it flow, and that would naturally reflect in the presentation. Even anywhere you want to have presentation, a presentation before the presentation, we always call it the dry runs. Always do that. I didn't mean that you did this well. It would have reflected in the arrangement of your presentation. So thank you. Well done.
Thank you so much, Madam Rita. Thank you. Are you ready now, Gloria? Hello, is Gloria there?
Yes, sir, I'm back. I was logged out earlier, but I can share my screen now. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Gloria Nnamaka Okolubo, and I'm an HR and administrative professional with about 5 years of experience supporting recruitment, onboarding, training coordinations, and HR operations within the oil and gas industry. My key achievements are hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Please go on. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Gloria Nnamaka Okolugo, and I'm an HR and administrative professional with over 5 years experience in the oil and gas industry. One of my key achievements in the role is having to have coordinated recruitment for a newly opened station, ensuring that from the recruitment to the onboarding and training coordination were successfully handled before operations started. Part of my HR competencies are manpower planning support, engagement initiative, performance management support, HR policies and documentation, as well as leave and records administration. Most of the tools and technologies I currently work with are the Microsoft 365, the Google Workspace, and a little bit exposure with HR's platforms such as the Sage 300 People. Like I mentioned earlier, my key contributions, working as an HR admin with Emadeb Energy, I've been able to coordinate end-to-end recruitment, onboarding for newly launched retail outlets, coordinating quarterly training sessions, knowledge sharing sessions within the retail environment and as well across the organization. Also improved staff alignment and operational consistency in that aspect. I've also been able to manage employee records. I've been able to design trackers that helps me manage these records, and also with the use of the HRS as well, which has helped me ensure timely and error-free processing. I think because of the network glitches that I'm having, I've been thrown a little off by the value I bring. I believe that the value I bring in the space of my career is ensuring that there's proper coordination with HR operations across the organization, both on-site and in hybrid work environment. I currently hold a bachelor's degree from Delta State University, where I studied library and information science. I just rounded up with my mentorship program, HR Priming with Stella Obialo, and I'm awaiting my certification with CIPM. For my contact, my email address is glorianamaka@gmail.com, and on LinkedIn, you can find me as Gloria Okolubu.
Thank you very much, Gloria. You might want to project your contact details while we just give a feedback. Again, thank you for showing up for this and pitching yourself to us. I would just say that there's a need for a little bit more coordination. I saw that you've been struggling for a while before the last speaker, and then perhaps an alternative network or something. Also for your slides, I think the choice of images would be something you should look into. We just kept seeing flower vases and all that, whether you were talking about education or you were talking about, I don't know if you can hear us. Of course, we'll just leave the feedback and you can listen to this later. I would also say that your enthusiasm was just a little bit off. It sounded like you were not in your best mood, and but I can tell that perhaps the whole network thing, but the whole idea around presentation is, to be tough, to be as prepared as possible. So check into your whole presentation game, both your slide preparation, how you show up, how you are as ready as possible, and it can be a lot more better. Otherwise, this is still a good one. Thank you for coming and showing up. I would call on Ezine.
Thank you, Victor. I'm just smiling. Hello, Gloria. I think that your slides reflect who you are. I mean, your personality, you're calm. I get it. I liked your slides, right? I looked at them, but I hear Victor when he says, yeah, but there's this calmness that your slides project, and that's the person that you are. However, I made a comment, project better. You can be calm and project, yeah? You can be calm and project from a point of strength, because it felt like, okay, and you know that it's your energy that carries us. So if you start off, you have to hit it from the first second. If you start off on a low, all of us are here looking at you like, okay, we can't put the energy for you. You're the one that will put the energy. And you don't have to, so you don't have to be like me. You don't have to be like, there's certain people that, when they talk, they're like, no, you can still be in your calm self and project and carry us through the presentation. So yeah, I mean, you talk through, but I still feel like you need to prepare more. You need to practice more. I would have liked you to, you didn't need to have to go through your competencies for us. You could have just gone straight into what you do and mesh your competencies into what you do. Show us your accomplishments. You did it. But over time, I know you said something about the network throwing you off balance. But then you remember that even as we're talking here, we're helping prep you to speak. We're also helping you prep for resilience, because these things could happen. Yes, we talk about having alternatives and all that, but we know that sometimes Nigeria can happen to you. Nigeria can Nigeria you. But you know what stands you out? The fact that even if it happens, you just, you move as if nothing is happening. You might say, isn't it easier said than done? But we have had a number of people in this pitches that have had things happen. And then, they just buckle themselves up and you know what, go on. If the internet goes off, I'm still ready to go. So have yourself prepared for these things, because in real life, people may not be as graceful. And in real life, these things could also happen. Yeah, you might stumble, but then what matters is not about the stumbling. What matters is how quickly you pick yourself up and you still move ahead, because the world is not going to wait. They're going to be like, hey, they're waiting. So, I mean, well done for actually even coming out, to put it. But please practice more. Please practice more. It's a good thing that this is just it. It's not just. It's a pitch, right? It's here. We're all here to help you. Don't look at it like we are here to. No, the essence of everything that we're doing is to help you be better at what you do. So please take the learning points and then go back and then work on them. Take note of them and then apply them and then work on being a better version or doing something better for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, Madam Rita, a word from you.
Okay, Gloria, thank you so much for coming to the presentation. I don't think I want to say more. You and Victor and Izine have said what I would have said. Everything was so low, but as much as it is, I think Izine and Victor have done justice to it, so I will pass for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mom. Abiodun, that will be the next person. Abiodun, are you ready? Abiodun, are you ready? If Abiodun is not, George Leah, we have to run very fast. So George Leah or Abiodun.
Everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chukwebuka Udiaja. I'm a people and business growth champion and HR generalist, HR business partner, change management, and organizational design and development architect. Over the 4 + 5 years of my HR career, my experience has spanned towards improving employee experience, improving employee branding and driving business growth, creating high performance cultures. Currently at Grisindale, I've been saddled with the responsibility of driving business growth and also improving employee experience. Now, I have been able to reduce the time to hire at Grisindale from 2 months to 2 weeks. When I joined Grisindale, Okay, so let me go to my education and certifications. So I have a BA in Philosophy and Research Studies at the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University. I am an associate Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. I'm also a licensed. I have a human resource professional license, and I am undergoing a human resource analytics program at UTVA currently. So back to my achievements, apologies for jumping that. For recruitment, I have been able to create an amazing employee experience by first overhauling the whole onboarding program. I've been able to create a document that includes our vision and mission, followed by check-ins every month, just to ensure that employees' activities or tasks aligns with what the organization wants to achieve. And also the time to hire, like I was saying earlier, I was able to reduce it from 2 months to 2 weeks. When I joined Grisindale, we were just a 5-man team, but right now we are 20 man strong with contract lawyers in Abuja, Kenya, and Ghana, and we are looking at expanding into the rest of Africa and the UK. Then also for mentorship, I was able to introduce mentorship programs just to help the junior associates in the firm gain valuable knowledge, which would be able to help them to climb the career ladder. I started this January last year, and I can say it has been helpful. The whole of last year, only one employee left the firm, and I've never seen an employee cry because she was leaving the firm. So that shows you how much experience they've been able to garner and also appreciate. So there is also an initiative I introduced. It's called In-House Learning Program. So we have an LMS which is created by the employees themselves. So each employee is saddled with the responsibility of writing an article that would improve performance and efficiency. For example, we can tell a latecomer to write an article on the importance of punctuality. And all this is on the platform where incoming employees can go check out content on the LMS and also try to improve. So this is a way of ensuring that they don't just understand their expectations, they're able to contribute to performance management. And this has been going on for a year now. And from my surveys, it's been helpful. And also article writing. So when I joined, one of the things I wanted to do was to improve our branding. So we had to register on listing platforms. So a lot of firms have listing platforms where you can upload your articles and win awards. So most of our employees have been writing and posting articles. I can say that we've won.
You have 1 more minute. You have 1 more.
So we won various awards on these platforms. I also initiated team building initiatives, mind shift sessions, and various training programs. Then for the employer branding and business growth, I've been able to overhaul our social media platforms, overhaul our websites, Mondac listings, and also initiated webinars and podcasts. Lately, when candidates come for interviews, I hear things like, I was interested because of the things I saw on your social media platform. You put a face to the brand, and that's awesome. So that's something that excites me whenever I interview candidates. Then for high performance cultures, I've been able to introduce HRS platform like Zoho, which has been able to streamline performance. And also we now have an online work drive, which all our files are housed there. And because of the success of the Zoho platform, we are also looking at hybrid work structure going forward, which is a plus. And also I've been able to initiate training programs. I was able to overhaul.
You need to go to your last slide, please.
Yes, okay. All right, so I've been able to talk to the problems I can solve: poor employer branding, low productivity, employee engagement, poor process and policy implementation, poor visibility and low revenue drive, and high time to fill. So so I would speak to this. So I've already talked about employer branding. That's something I love to do. So one other thing I didn't add for the business growth is I was able to initiate marketing initiatives like going for networking programs, having a pipeline. So we've been able to, from this initiative, we've been able to get 10 retainer clients between January 2025 and March 2026. So I think that's also a plus for the business. So I'm impeccable when it comes to employer branding. I'm a people strategy and business aligner. I'm a people and business growth champion in the sense that I don't just drive it, I am also a winner. So I am fondly called Mr. Culture because I don't just drive processes, I set the pace and lead by example. So I'm a data-driven HR business partner because I believe data is the fuel that runs the business.
You need to round up now.
I'm an HR process and policy evangelist. Yeah, I'm done. And also, I'm a high performance culture architect. So the last slide. These are my contact details in case you want to reach out to me. So one thing before I go, I believe that HR shouldn't be a cost center, but it should be a platform where value exudes at all times, which is why I don't just want to be an HR professional. I want to be at the table driving initiatives. Thank you once again. Yeah, I'm done here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, George. Thank you for putting yourself out there. I will just give my remarks. This was really good. Very synonymous to Babatobi as well. You know what you are doing. I like the fact that your HR, you could tie them to different parts of the business. I saw what you did with marketing, with your social media, with HRS, and all that, and you were taking us through all that you've done. It's a very good one for content. However, you do not have all the time. And like Izine would always say, you see Dangote or somebody and you want to just tell them all that you can do in maybe 1 or 2 minutes. So while you have the content, you try not to lose us, because at the end, because of the pressure to round up, we couldn't take in all that you could do. I'm not just this, I'm a culture person. You just said something like they were just fillers and you had to conclude the conversation. But from the beginning, there's a lot of content and you sure know what you are doing. So there just needs to be a little bit more coordination and time management. And I'm saying this because, of course, you appear as somebody who can teach, show people how things are done. I don't know if you have taken an HR mentorship webinar or if you still take one, but if we have to put you on a timer, you have to be done at so time. If not, we will have to end the webinar, so that we can get all that you have to see. Other than that, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, isn't it over to you?
Thank you.
Hello, Ebuka. So first of all, I noticed that you have been ready from the get-go. From the moment this thing started, it was like your hand was on your mark, get set, go. So you're like, you know what, you guys, I'm ready for you. However, the same thing that Victor said, I made a comment, time management, because you were talking to us like we were in a lounge and we have all the time in the world for you to go over. See, you don't need to convince me. I can tell that you know what you're doing, right? You've done quite a lot, right? But we need you to tell us in a nutshell, right? We need you to make that mark in it. I mean, I can remember now you've told me about social media, you've told me about the numerous, you're not forgettable. I can remember the things you have done, but you need to be more, you need to put that non-forgettableness in a little punch. And like I said, I give the example of Dangote. Please just picture yourself. You're in the lift with Dangote and Dangote is rushing out. You think Dangote doesn't have that time to listen to you. He just, yes. Tell him, boom, 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 so that he does not forget you, right? You already have what it is to show that you're unforgettable, but compress it in a nutshell so that we get it out of you, because you were great. I mean, I liked, the story that you were talking about, time to fill, reducing it. You had your stories. I love them. As much as I like them, please tighten them up. And then be careful. I mean, you probably can't defend your metrics, but just be careful with the metrics. So I was seeing the metrics on my eyes. I was going dizzy. I was like, okay, these are so many metrics. You put them in, but nicely put them in, yeah, so that people don't start to think that you're just putting in the numbers just for the numbers' sake. You should be able to defend them, but don't make them so much. But yeah, I know that you know what you're doing, but just, have that time management in mind, because not everybody's going to have the time to sit down for 30 minutes or an hour to listen to you, but you need to make that mark. And I know you have the ability to make that mark. You just need to tighten things up. Yeah. So, but well done.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Izine.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ebuka. Yeah, thank you so much for this. I love the presentation. I love the fact that what everybody's saying, you know what you want to your slide. When last did you do interview?
Last week.
Last week you had an interview. Okay, so one of the fallout of what you have done is you have to learn that the first few minutes matters. In the minutes could make or mar the interview session for you. For me, I lost myself in between it. Even though I know what you were saying, I got interested mid-point when I started hearing, I did this, I did this, I did that. because you're very clear on what you've done. But then another question brings me to another question. So why do you want to live here if you have had this much successes?
So for now, I'm just passively putting out applications. I believe I have so much to achieve here. I've not even achieved half of what I want to achieve here. But when at some point I would also want to move to a consulting firm because I believe I have a lot to learn hands-on, and here is not giving me so much. I'm more like driving these initiatives by myself with the help of my mentors and the HR mentorship community. But I need to like work in the midst of HR professionals where I can further drive myself and get more hands-on experience. So yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, that was what was speaking to me, that despite all this, there must be reason for presentation. So this is a deviation from my normal course of barrage of questions. I'm just going another way, preparing you like in the course of your journey. If you were to do interview, this is not the energy you bring on board. And just like what everybody has said, we don't have much time for it. When your storytelling becomes so uncoordinated, so cohesive, you begin to look at what is the need for me. I need to get out of this interview session. That was just what happened now. But beside that, I would like to engage you for experiences which you didn't have the time to be able to do that. For next time presentation, always keep to the time limit that you have been assigned to or be allotted for. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, then.
Thank you, ma. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Rita. Thank you, Ebuka. Okay. Do we have Seidat ready? Do we have Abiodun, Luisa, Tommy? Anybody ready? Just go ahead as I call your name. Yeah.
Okay. Opportunity. My name is Tominsin Kendi. I started my HR journey. I'm an aspiring organization development personnel. I started my HR journey when I worked in a restaurant as the HR generalist, and that was when I was first exposed to HR, the end-to-end of HR. Moving forward, I took a career break, and whilst I was in that career break, my eyes was opened to the problems and gaps I was seeing in our universities and how it wasn't preparing people for the business world. So I took up that initiative, and that was when I owned my learning and development skills, building curriculums and training young adults and trying to prepare them for the business world. Moving forward from that career break, the achievements I made and the achievements I was able to project in Macpherson University was what landed me the job I got at Alistair Green, where I worked as an HRBP officer, working with their clients, providing outsourcing services, as well as also working in their in-house L&D team, trying to build up the structure and basically build my L&D end-to-end training. In Alistair Green, I learned how to think strategically. I learned how to think in systems. And the learnings that I got was what pushed me and what landed me my job at Blue Wave, which was a startup where I created and I built the HR structure end to end, working on all the frameworks and the likes. So my learnings in Alistair Green was what built me up there. Moving on, I moved to Fiber One, which is an ISP where I am currently. In Fiber One, I handle the end-to-end of the employee lifecycle from onboarding to offboarding. Beyond that, I also manage the database, and this was where my skills on HR and data analytics came to be, and I started presenting in data and presenting data information. Now, beyond all this, I love to help people, especially young adults, figure things out. Outside of HR, I help people plan their career path. I help people build structures and systems to build their performance and productivity. I also help people who are basically self-employed to help build a structure around their business. So all in all, I say that the kinds of problems I solve is aligning people's strategy with business growth, regardless of whatever that growth is, if it's personal or if it is the business itself.
Also, I'm a process thinker. I like to think in process end to end, try to identify the gaps, the loopholes, and also try to create solutions to those loopholes. I also try to streamline processes as much as possible to reduce bottlenecks and ensure compliance across board. And given the exposure I've had in the various industries that I've worked, I've more or less done more of HR operations, however, still doing a lot of process management. Beyond HR as a learning track and beyond being certified in HR, I took certain tech trainings in product management and project management just to expand my knowledge. And that's to say that I'm a lateral thinker. I don't like to just grow vertically, but I like to grow horizontally because I believe that's the way I can help present my value and help solve problems. So my core skills basically falls under system building and process improvements. So that's the reason why I'm looking forward to advance into organizational development, because I see that it brings all the skills that I've gathered over the years together. And so why should you hire me? I'm a system thinker, like I said. I have cross-functional industry experience across consulting, energy, hospitality, and telecoms. I've built systems and functions from the ground up, and I'm looking forward to do this more. I also look forward to build HR to a point where it is seen as a solution provider and not just a system support. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. Thank you very much. This is another good one. I'm not going to talk about your slides, but I think the coordination, the storytelling was just really good. Sometimes when we see career breaks and things like that, people don't give all the stories and they don't put that very well into the conversation, but you took us into that. One other very fantastic thing is how you kept talking about organizational development and you kept aligning your skills, process development, operations, the things that you can do and want to do there along that line, which is a very good one. Again, what I would give as a feedback in that sense would be your metrics. So you are currently, or you've managed 600 employees, and there is a process improvement by 45% or 50%. Again, we are not in that conversation, but you are going to have questions of how did you arrive at 45%? I hope the numbers are what you are projecting them to be, and just not an inflation of numbers and all that. However, it was a good one. The storytelling was just on point for me. Well done, Tommy.
Thank you so much for the feedback.
Okay, Isn't are you ready to go?
Yeah, I am more than ready. Tommy, I don't know. Maybe I will say this is this was a pitch. This was a pitch. First of all, you're very articulate. You understand yourself. You're very self-aware. You understand who you are. You understand what you do. You were able to tell us what it is that you do. I was taking it out like even your pivoting into the tech. You understand how your strengths, you have the strengths you have in that, and you're able to tie everything together. And you put yourself out there. You use the time really well to pitch yourself. I like how the storytelling was top notch. You seamlessly wove us through the story of your career. So I have a clear idea or a clear background of who you are, your career journey so far. And you also know where you want to be. You know how you position yourself, what problems you're solving and what you're looking to do. So please, well done on this, well done. Your slides, fantastic. You had me engaged throughout. By the time you were done, I closed my eyes because I had to take it in. Yeah. So well done. The only thing I would, I struggled to find something wrong. The only thing is we didn't see your face, because when you're talking to us, I want to see your cues, your body language and everything. I would have loved to see your face, but hey, you did really well. I mean, there's always still room for improvement though, but well done. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for the feedback.
Thank you very much, Edwin. Yeah. Madam Rita?
So,
Yes.
Good evening. Thanks for a beautiful presentation,
Good evening.
and you did very well. I love the fact that you were able to project what you want and what you do, and that showed in your presentation, the energy. Probably watching others, maybe the presentation. But like I did for the last presenter, I'm also going to do the same to you. I'm going to really look at your core competences. I always struggle when people put skills and then put core skills. It's beautiful. But during the course of interview, sometimes we shoot ourselves with word salad. We keep on putting so many words in between it now. So I would enjoy you to find a way where you can balance your skills, the core skills and core competencies, whether they are skills, whether they are them as your management skills, you're also putting them as your industry skills, rather than putting everything. Because if I look at some of them will speak into the other or speak to another one that you have listed out here. Do you understand? So if you're calling like employee life
Yes, ma'am.
employee engagement, that's what I call word salad. So you have to be careful about that, because during period of interview, those are things that will naturally just serve as a room for you to fall. Because by the time they start pushing you to come and explain this, it leads to another questions, and it doesn't always all go well for people. They kind of look at me. So be careful of too many core skills. What do we call core skills? What do we put as competencies? I think people out there need to be able to separate them. Aside that, I don't have anything to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for the feedback.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Rita and Tomi. Is there anybody who is ready to go next from any of the participants at this point? We have a few more persons.
Yes,
Any of the participants? Yes, quickly.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, good evening, everyone.
Yes, go ahead. Good evening.
Asheyi. I have a master's degree in economics from the University of Lagos. And also, I'm actually certified in Associate CIPM, that's Chartered Institute of Personal Management, and also in Chartered Institute of Administration. So where I worked previously, that's in Labor Act. I worked as a recruitment and onboarding officer, whereby I manage the end-to-end recruitment of the artisans. Like basically in Labor Act, we work with artisans. So I basically interview them, like go through their CVs and make sure they are eligible for us like to work with, because we actually connect them to construction companies. I also work with customer service, whereby I reach out to them, because we're also rendering like a service to them, in sense that you would get a certificate from us. That's when we know that okay, this person is eligible to work with our companies. That's the companies we partnered with. That's the construction companies. So I check up on them. I'm always calling them, and also I also like led the community. Like we had WhatsApp community and Telegram community. Then also like I also like worked in is kind of like diverse here, but like I also worked in the digital team, whereby I create flyers on Canva. Then also from 2021 to 2023, I worked as an HR officer at Vitafoam, whereby also I worked with screening and interviewing people, and also scheduling them for any special training we have, and also onboarding. So we all know that Vitafoam is a production company. So I basically work with the artisans also. So I get them to we have virtual trainings for them, and we also have physical trainings for them too. So I was part of the team for it, and I also led about 2 trainings that we did with the workers, and I also kept employee record. Yes, I did that. Then I also like implemented HR policy. That's regarding the training policy. So I worked with the branch, that's Vita Visco, with Vitaphone. So their policies based on training policy was actually not so good. So I actually kind of implemented them. So that's what I did at Vitaphone Nigerian PLC. Then from 2019 to 2020, I worked in Larry Farms Nigeria Limited. So like the company is kind of close to my house. So I basically attend to customers, and I actually work with the daily sales. I keep records of the daily sales. And I also forgot to mention, while I was in Labor Limited, so we actually have to keep record of the data. So I worked with Excel, I worked with SQL, and I also worked with Power BI. And also for the graphics, whereby I helped them to design flyers, I worked with Canva. So that's basically what I did at LaborArc also. Okay, so my core HR skills are talent acquisition and onboarding. Yes, so I mentioned about training. Yes, in keeping just with are talented, and also onboarding, like putting, for example, we've employed someone, I put them through on, I tell them more about from the screening to the interview. Then I let them know about if they pass the interview, we employ them. Then after employing them, I let them know about the company, what they need, the handbook of the company, whatever they need. Also, I did that too. Then for employee relations, I have the HR skills. Policy development, I have the HR skills. Then performance management, training coordination, I actually mentioned that too. Then administration, yes, when I worked in Larry Farm Nigerian Limited, I actually got that skills there. And also HR administration and record keeping, I actually got those skills from the 3 places I worked with.
One more minute.
Okay, sir. My power competencies, that's strategic planning. I'm also good at critical thinking. I'm also good at leadership because I've actually led few teams, and I'm also good at communication. I love communicating, and also like I know whereby you have to be official and yes, and non-official. So like I'm very, very good at communicating. Then adaptability, I'm good with changes. For example, I'm working with a team and we need to change something. I easily adapt to the changing. And also creative and strategic thinking, and digital marketing fluency. So those are my power competence. So the problem I solved while I was working in these companies, I actually contributed to their onboarding, most especially for Vitaphone, because it is a new branch, which is Vita Visco. So they had a very, very poor onboarding, but actually when I got there, I actually made it better. And also poor engagement. For example, they don't really engage with their
Go to your
workers.
last slide now. You need to go to your last slide.
Okay. Yes, okay. Why you should hire me? Based on my record, where I've worked from Vitaphone, Larry Farms Nigerian Limited, and LaborArc, I've actually delivered so many HR outcomes. And also, I'm actually a business informed HR in sense of my background as an economist, and also I'm actually very, very adaptable to changes. Yes, and I'm also like diverse because I worked in manufacturing company, agri-business company, tech startup companies. So that's LaborArc. Then also I'm actually certified in CIPM, Google project management, and digital marketing. So that's why I think I know you should hire me. So this is my details. So let's connect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ido. We'll connect. Thank you very much. Also a very good one. You seem to just think that you didn't have all the time, so you needed to rush. And then it was like, how are we going to put all of these things into these 5 minutes that we have? And somehow you will take us to the front, and then you say you forgot something on the other role, you take us back to that role. So there might just be the need for a bit more coordination so that we are not taking us to front and back. I would also mention your use of, let me call this diction. There was a point when you mentioned kind of diverse, so yeah, and there were times when you were just using some languages, and if this was an interview, somebody may have stopped you to say, speak very, very clearly. There were times when you were talking about your past roles, and you were saying, I lead them, you were using the present tense, and it was as if you were still on that role, right? So check how you use your words, when it's past, when it's present, and all that. Overall, still a good presentation. My final note would be, you now need to bring these things together so that we can hold you somewhere. Because a little bit of time, you were a digital marketing person, really good at it, and maybe project management, maybe HR and all that. But as you advance, we really want to know you for something. And you should strike us as that person that we want to hire HR-wise. Yeah. Thank you. Over to you, Louise.
Thank you.
Hello, Edo.
Hi, good evening.
So well done on your presentation. Victor, when Victor was saying some things, I was just smiling and laughing because there were certain things I took note of. First of all, you did okay with your presentation. First of all, your experience, you're meant to take us from the oldest to the most current. You were taking us back. You were taking us back to the past. You start from the oldest so that we now, there's more concentration on what you currently do. Let's know more about that, right? I think that really practice. You just need to practice more. You're somewhat there, but once you practice more, you will tighten things up. Victor talks about the time. We've talked about this time management. If you don't have to go through everything. We're seeing the slides and all that, but you have to pack a punch. So incorporate your core skills into the problems you solve. You don't have to tell us these are your core skills, these are your power competencies. Put them in. Okay, based on this, it is this thing that I have that enabled me to solve this problem. Yeah. And then you focus on certain problems. You don't have to read us through all the problems that you solve. Focus on major ones that you think will make a mark on us, and then go ahead with those. Let me talk about a few things that I made comments on, because when you said delivered many HR, because there was a part that you started telling us a story, but because it was towards the end, you were rushing. Pick on certain things, certain particular context scenarios that you have achieved stuff, and then to walk us through so that it sticks in our minds, right? Because I saw you said delivered many HR outcomes. I put a question mark. Adaptable to change. How do I know you're adaptable to change? I need an example, a particular context that will show that. Then there was something that I noticed, like Victor said, there's certain things. Victor, you said somebody will correct. There are people that are kind that will correct. The ones that will not correct, they will be quiet. When you're saying those things, they will note you down and they will strike you, you lose marks in that. Like that thing, when you said kind of, for me, my own perspective from that kind of, it was not speaking of power. It was like, you said you kind of did a policy. So that means you didn't do the policy. So why are you talking about it? When you're talking, you're pitching yourself with power. I did this. There were some other parts that you took charge, you owned it. If you didn't really own it, you might want to put that to the side. So don't say, oh, I kind of did a policy. Nah, that's not you pitching yourself. Then there was also another thing that you said Vitafoam that we all know. We don't know. You have to assume that whoever you're pitching to someone who doesn't know. And that's what people do in interviews. That is a personal ache for me, as you can see on my CV. Well, if I saw it on your CV, why am I interviewing you? You have to walk me through it, right? So don't come out, because for all you know, you're talking to someone who is in Yugoslavia or Croatia or wherever. I don't know Vitafoam, so don't say as we all know. Yeah, don't assume that there's certain things that you might not want to put in your pitch. But I mean, you did have a good attempt. I think that as you practice more, you will do better. And I like your, I don't say innocent looking face. I like it. It endears me to you. So well done. I look forward to seeing, better, you do better and better. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Okay, Namrata is ready.
Yeah, thank you so much, Oluwaseyi. The youthfulness, the positivity, the energy I feel you came with your warmth, you came with your innocence, you came with your level of experience, which showed. And what Ezene said about you telling that I did, you kept on going back and forth on it, not taking a sense of ownership over what you have done. But I want to take it as an attempt. You need to do more. This opportunity is for you to know how to present yourself when you get to see panel of interviewers. So I will not say you've not tried, but you need to do more. Put on your resume, on your pitch. It's not all the time you have the opportunity to pitch at this level. But the fact that you're going to stand in front of presence, let your presence be seen and be felt. Do you understand? And then own the audience when you're talking to people. Be confident in your tone. Push out what you want people to know about you. And then at the end of today, if I were given this opportunity to sell myself in front of an interviewer or a recruiter, how will I introduce Oluwaseyi Idowu? For most people, when they are starting out in interview, probably they'll say, oh, let me get to know you. Can you introduce her and practice it? Practice it the more so that when you get the opportunity to stand in front of people, you're able to sell yourself very well. Thank you for your job well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Rita. Thank you, Idowu. Okay, Log, you were trying to present the other time. Are you set now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Love. A brief cap about my education. I studied economics education from the University of Lagos, and I recently just completed my NYSC. And this built my professional career in administrative and operation, where I supported teams and improved workplace processes. And through that experience, I realized that many operational challenges are actually people's challenges, which sparked my interest in the HR and operations. And I'm very passionate about building systems that supports both people, organization, performance. And today I'll be sharing some of my key achievements as it prepares me to grow and contribute in the HR space. I worked as an admin and operations associate at Madhouse, where I was able to organize and manage program proposal and also create documents, giving the leadership access to many documents whereby they are able to make decision making very quick. I also handled procurement and inventory for studio. Ensuring that all of these are kept in track, and also when there is low resources, I also ensure that these are being escalated and also write out budgets for this to be approved. I've also maintained up-to-date vendor database, ensuring that there is clear communication between the organization and the vendors. And also I try to also manage expectations when need be, if there is a promise that is given to them and it has not been met. And I also help assist in also following up. And I've also supported HR operations by onboarding 5 to 10 volunteers quarterly, interns, and even sometimes full-time staff, because we had our HR team in Abuja. So while we're in Lagos, we ensure that proper documentation and accurate records are sent to the team in Abuja. And during my NYSC process, still at Madhouse, I was the admin and finance intern, where I was able to process invoices, giving petty cash, and also ensure that this is accurately recorded with consistent accuracy. I was also able to maintain digital and physical filing system that reduced document retrieval, assisted in staff and volunteer records and HR documentation. I also coordinated logistics as well for internal meeting and also for events when we have. And I've also worked with Red Notes, where I supported in ensuring that the fabrics and the clothing are up to task, assisted in budgeting, and also prepare reports weekly. Some of my skills and competence is office operations and coordination, documentation and record management, inventory control and procurement, vendor logistics and coordination, invoice processing and finance support, and also people operations and HR. The tools I can use are Zoho, MS Word, Workspace, Google Workspace, and Zoom. The problem I can solve, I can help in documentation of staff, operational records by creating a clear, well-maintained system by having a folder and ensuring that every leadership team have access to the drive. Gaps in tracking invoices, payments, and important documents through structured monitoring and also follow-ups. I can also assist in coordinating people, vendors, resources by ensuring that there is a clear communication and organized process. So for me, I believe that you over-communicate rather than not communicating with this one. So helping them to manage their expectations so that everything goes smoothly. I also assist in operational workload by providing dependable day-to-day support that allow team to focus on their core work. Why you should hire me? I have hands-on HR support with fast learning and adaptability, professional and discreet handling of people, and sensitive information, which is confidentiality. I'm also very proactive, reliable team support with strong communication, and I'm also very detail-oriented to contributing into growing leadership through ownership and also accountability. And here is my contact. Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Ido. This was right on time, and I just think there was a cohesive flow of your information. It was a good presentation, a really good one. My comments would be that, again, I've said this before, the use of your tenses, the roles that you've left, you still have assists, prepare, and those kind of things. Assisted, prepared, worked, supervised, and all. When you leave a particular role, you want to talk in past tense. So we know you are referring to things that you have done before. Also, the career is not so much of a lot of years of experience. You started out by saying you built your career before you started talking about the things that you've done and all. Your punchline was that after telling us that you finished your NYSC and all, it sounded as though, I mean, this is somebody who has been long in the game. And before you started walking us through the things that you've done and all that. So you just want to be very careful about your language and how you balance the flow. My last comment would be that when you are putting your skills together, and this is really for everybody, when you've known the other guy that was talking about wanting to do OD, organizational design, and he was talking about process engineering and some things, you can form that alignment. As your skills are from preparing invoices, then we had vendor and logistics. You listed out all the other things, and just down there you had HR support. So it might just tweak, okay, where exactly can you function the most? So we need to have this conciseness to what you can do, the skills that you have, and what you are really interested in. Overall, really beautiful. Well done, well done, well done, love. Thank you. Isn't let's hear from you.
Hello, love. So I will first of all commend you that you kept the time. You were able to pass across your message within time. However, you didn't tell me a story. I feel like you just basically read off your slides. You just said this is what you do, and okay. But how do I know that you did what you did? Maybe I missed it, I'm not sure, but I don't know that you told me how much you incorporated yourself into what you actually have done. So there's no context to the application of your skills. And like Victor said, because I was even going to say, if you can take me back to your job, your experience, please, because I'm like, HR looks like it's an afterthought. There's just HR support somewhere at the bottom there. So are you pitching yourself? What are you pitching yourself? What are you pitching yourself for? I mean, even if you're pitching yourself to a role in HR, yes, you're making us guess. You're giving us the guesswork for us to guess what the transferable skills are. I think that you could have, emphasized a lot more on the, what transferable skills you have, to give that HR support or to get in or, evolve into a role, a full role or core role in HR. This is my own, interpretation of what you presented. I mean, you did well in terms of delivering within time, but I would have liked you to give better context so that I properly understand, or I see better how well you're able to move the transferable skills into HR. I'll give you an example. So the world out there, the job market out there is competitive. So how are you going to show us that, okay, you want to come into full HR, show us how, what are the things you're carrying to bring into HR, and I always like to look at things not just from the national scale, on a global scale. If you were to compete with other talents, how would you put yourself out there to make someone say, okay, you know what, I'm going to consider her for a full-time role? So they just take note of that. But yeah, opportunities to do better. Well done.
Thank you so much, Ezinne. Thank you. Madam Rita.
Okay, thank you, Love. I like the way you came in with your punchy intro. I like the fact that you were happy, you were gay, and you were just taking us point by point. But in trying to sell yourself, you eventually not sold yourself. And leaving the best for the last didn't do you justice. So I will follow the trail of the last two, my panel list. What they've said, I will toe their line is the same thing. You need to do better. You need to improve. And this comes from making sure that you keep on pitching, you keep on practicing it. If you're able to get through this one will do you well in front of any panel of interviewers. Do you understand? We're calling it talent pitch. And that means that you come in here, tell us what you want to sell yourself in front of interviewers, recruiters, hiring manager. How would you position yourself? What will be the thing that will make you so memorable to them that they'll remember you? Sometimes we lose sight that if you are very tired, just like assuming now we've been doing it since morning and you're getting towards the last, some of us are already tired, honestly. And the energy I brought in before up till now is not the same thing. So if you have woken me up from my slumber and brought in that energy, those are things that will make the next panel of interviewers just sit down. I'm like, oh, what is this lady coming to say here? You get them interested in your presentation. That is it for me. So do well to practice more. Practice your pitch. Your pitch constitutes what you're going to use to bring the intro in any interview. And that is always selling your name. What are your skills? What would you bring to bear into the organization if they were to employ you? And meeting another set of people in 100 days, assuming you are in front of me today and you're pitching yourself. If they were to meet the end of the organization, if I've placed you in an organization, what are they going to tell me about Love? What did Love accomplish within the 90 days of joining the organization? So look at it in that context and reframe that your growth mentality, let me just say it, so that you can bring the best of yourself forward. Let me repeat it again. If I were going to place Love Adilaja in ABC Nigeria Limited as a recruiter, if I were going to meet the MD of ABC Nigeria Limited, in 90 days, what would you have done justice to? So look at it in that context and sell yourself that, oh, my name, my skills, or your education. And then you are bringing it to bear now that, oh, this is the skills that Adilaja is going to bring on board. These are my experiences. These are my knowledge. These are my abilities. And then I'm wrapping it up with my experience so that I know I'm solving a particular problem. That is what I'm bringing on board. If they were to compare me with other people, what would stand Love Adilaja out? That is just what you should think about. Thank you. I think that's the end for me. Thank you, Love.
Thank you so much, Madam Rita. Well done, Love. We have 4 persons to go. Mercy, are you there? Atinoke? Mercy, Atinoke. I don't think we've heard from Seidat and Louisa. Those are the 4 names. Mercy, Effiong, Atinoke, Abiodun. I hope they've not run away.
We are happy to pass if anybody is not
I'm
available.
Here. I'm ready.
So probably take Mercy as the last. Let's take Mercy as the last. We'll roll over to next month.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Please I would like to share my screen. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Mercy Effiong. I'm a self-motivated HR and administrative professional with over 4 years of experience. My focus has always been on ensuring smooth operations, effective people management, and excellent service delivery. I studied library and Information Science from the University of Calabar. I'm looking toward getting my CIPM certification anytime soon, and I've also gotten some certificates to back me up while I've been working as an HR. My career experience, I've worked in Datsopi Nigeria Limited as an HR and administrative manager, where I did recruitment, onboarding, compliance documentation, and many other things. I also worked with Produce Limited as an HR and administrative officer, where I did employee records, payroll coordination, change management, and operational reviews. I did other things too, listed out that are not listed out here. I also worked with FMG Associates Limited, where I worked as a customer service officer, where I took care of clients' inquiries, their complaints, I tried to resolve it, and service coordination. Why I'm the right fit for this role is because I have proven HR and administrative expertise with over 4 years of HR and administrative experience. I have successfully managed recruitment, onboarding, payroll coordination, HR records, and compliance documentation. I have versatile HR generalist skills where I'm skilled in employee relations, performance management support, change management, and benefits administration. I cover the full spectrum of HR functions. I have digital and modern tools proficiency. I have experience with productivity tools like Trello, MS Teams, Google Workspace, Microsoft 360 to enable efficient proficiency and streamline HR processes. I also have good certification that can add value. I'm certified with the HR skill acquisition. I also have first aid certification. I have HSC 1 to 3. I also am a visual assistant. I'm certified with that. I did a training on that too, to bring workplace safety awareness and adaptability to remote and digital work. I am people focused and process driven. I am known for balancing multiple priorities while maintaining strong employee and client relations, ensuring smooth operations and organizational success. Yes, I would like to talk about the performance management support. Where I work presently, I was able to try the management by objective performance appraisal, where I did this. That was the first time they were having an appraisal. A company that was registered in 2008 and then incorporated 2010. They had never had an HR. They later got one, which I was one. And then I tried to see how I can do performance management and performance appraisal for them. And then it was good enough that I also, after the appraisal, I made them understand what it means and then giving them job description with their KPI and also what is expected of them. So I did very well in that area, and I'm trying to see where I can develop more in my skill and how I can add value to many other continuous success to any other company where I'm being recommended to. So this is my information in my email. This is my email out here in the screen and my phone number. I would really like to be engaged and be connected to. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Messi. Thank you for that. It was right on time as well. And of course, you were able to project what you've done in about 4 years and how much you still want to do more and you want to learn more. That's a good one from presentation. A little feedback would also be that the conversation between your friends and people around you is a little bit different from what you have when you're speaking to a panel or at an interview, right? I'm going to finish my CIPM anytime soon, or that kind of, I'm still trying to do this. It just gave this, okay, I'm doing my best, that kind of, so we can package some conversation. This is my information. There were just some of those words you were using that okay, just pick it and use it, that kind of thing. So let's put our communication together and learn to speak to a panel or anything around that. But overall, well done. Well done. Yeah, over to you then.
Is that me, Victor? Did you mention me? Anyway,
Yes.
I might as well go ahead since I've unmuted. Messi, well done. I liked the strength of your voice. You know, you project. Yeah, I mean, you spoke strongly. I did see the confidence, right? I did see it. I know that with practice, right? You by the time you combine your confidence with practice, you'll present better. But let me tell you, let me give feedback because that's what we're here to do, and we're here to help you be better, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, first of all, the question I had is like, is this something I have missed? I don't know whether that is now a practice. Why are participants reading their experience from the most current to the oldest? I thought we talk ourselves up. You know, you talk about the oldest experience, and then we now, because we want to put more, I'm more interested in what you're doing right now. Yeah, fantastic. The things you've done before, they all add up, but let's talk about now. But you started from what you're doing or what you did the most current to the back, and I noticed it as a pattern. So I don't know if it's something I've missed. I don't know. Maybe that's a new process, but that's not great practice. You know, start from the oldest, then you come up to your most current. Again, it was towards the end that you actually were pitching. You kind of pitched, right? Because for me, we're just like, we might as well have muted you and started reading your slides, because everything you were saying, you were just taking us through everything you put in your slides, but you were supposed to tell us a story. And I mean, when I say story, I'm not saying cook up things, but tell us what you did. You know, it's okay to list things that you have done, but how did you incorporate this? How did you actually do the work? You started it, you know, towards the end. Also, something that Victor said and something we said to previous participants, your power verbs, when you say things, you're pitching from a point of doing, right? To show that you do. But when there's a word I hate, people that know me know that I hate that word try. I don't like try, because that try seems like you said you're doing work, and you said where you're working, you're trying to see. So how are you convincing me? If you're interviewing with me, how are you convincing me to hire you if you are trying? And then I'm interviewing you amongst other people, and other people are saying, I did, I can do, I will do. And you said, I tried. No, so please work on your verbiage. It's very important, you know, when you're pitching yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's an opportunity, or it's, you know, you will take feedback and be better. You already have something working for you, which is your confidence and your strong, you know, voice. So just add that and you'll be much better. Another thing before I go, what happened to your LinkedIn profile? Because as a professional, that's our social media. At least that's the basic social media. You can talk about others, but don't you have a LinkedIn profile? Because in the world of the professionals, that's one of the first places that we'll go to look for. And I didn't see anything. So you might want to look at that and work on getting a LinkedIn profile if you don't already have one. But well done. I like your smile. I like that you are composed. So that is a good thing that you have going for you. Well done. Well done, Messi. And thank you for being the last, but not the least.
Thank you.
Okay, Messi. How are you? How do you do? I love your energy. I love the fact that you knew you were the last person and you made us feel relaxed with your presentation. You didn't waste much of our time. You just wanted to nail it in and get what you want to get out from the presentation. So I'll start with the fact that you appear confident and you were quite assertive. I love your energy. I love your positivity. Keep it up. I think that is one of your positive traits. That's one of your core traits that you have in terms of your personality. So keep it up. That assertiveness, I love it. No matter what, be able to stand in front of people and just tell them who you are and what you represent. And then you maintain eye contact. It's I saw that people avoid that, but you were looking up into your slide and also looking up to us to be able to see if you were connecting. So your engagement was superb. I love that. But then just what Ezine said, the same thing. I noted this down chronological order. I was wondering why you were repeating it backward instead of moving it forward. Let's know fully that, oh, you started with this, and then what you're going to leave us with is your last place of work and what you're doing as well. And then in terms of highlighting, what role are you looking for? I think for most of the would I say contestant or job seekers now, most of you lost out on what roles do you want us to look out for you. The essence is you're positioning yourself for others. You don't know the people that are inside here with us. They could be the people that will employ you. They could be people that will give you a referral. When there are too many words that are branded without letting us know what exactly you want to do, it becomes very confusing. And because of so many information, how many people have we seen today? We will lose sight of, oh, was it that lady that presented? Oh, was it this person that wore this purple dress or something like that? So you need to be very vocal about what you want us to remember you by. Then I wrote in terms of the choice of your words and narrative flow. No, you have to do justice to that. And just like I told the last two people, this is a pitch. You are introducing yourself to a panel of interviewers. It's not every one of us that will have that one-on-one. Sometimes you can be very unlucky. I will say unlucky in the choice of word, that it could be 3 or 4 people that will stand before you to conduct your interview at the very first stage. So you never know what you can get, but be prepared. You know, the Boy Scout is, or Girls Guide is, be prepared. So be prepared. This is just the first one for you. I know you can do better. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much. I think this session has been magnificent. Permit me to respectfully thank our panelists, Rita Babalola, Victor Agu, Ezine Obiora. You have done a yeoman's job. Again, let me thank all our participants, both for the first quart and this second quart. You have done a great job. I commend us all for putting our foot forward. Now, person we no show, now you know get job. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been wonderful. We have quite a number of people who are also supporting behind the scene. Just to mention a few, I'd like to again celebrate Irene Obagu. Thank you so much. I also like to celebrate Adebayo. Thank you so much for your technical assistance and everyone who has either pushed somebody to participate. I celebrate you. Let me just call out just one person for emphasis. Everybody has done well. Wazo joined the session, the first quart, and while that first quart was going on, she messaged me to say, oh, I would like to participate. And she joined the group and she indicated interest. And I see her passion and enthusiasm. She did a great job today. We'll have another session next month. If you are still interested in participating, you can reach out. I would like to celebrate everybody who joined just to listen. There's value in active listening. Anybody who watch any of these sessions, it will prep you to be able to pitch. It doesn't matter the stage you are in your career, senior, veteran, entry, even if you're a business person. Even we, the evaluators, the panelists, must confess that merely listening actively to this session is also improving us. At this intersection, I'd like to draw today's session to a close. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Thank you, everyone, providing leadership, providing mentorship, providing coaching, providing tutelage. May our Ozu, may it materialize. All the best. Cheers, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, everybody. Good, happy weekend,
Thank you,
everyone.
sir. Thank you so much.